I hear somebody say, "Oh, he's cute. I want him." So when I heard that, I turned around like, "Man, did he just say that? Well, you got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild."
We made love. We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta in the airport too. That motherfucker try to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
It's Busta Rhymes and 50 Cent. The tension between them is just, wow, it's palpable.
I've been hearing whispers. It's all about that Diddy documentary 50's working on, right?
Exactly. And apparently Busta is feeling some serious heat over it, like major anxiety.
Well, yeah, the speculation about what might be in that doc, it's getting pretty wild. People think some serious stuff is about to come out.
It feels different this time, doesn't it? Not just typical beef. There's this feeling that maybe some long-hidden things are about to surface.
Totally. And the friction between Busta and 50 is definitely pouring gasoline on that fire.
So let's get into it. The absolute center of this whole storm seems to be this rumor about a leaked tape.
Okay, the tape. What's the story there?
We're talking alleged footage, right? Placing Busta at Diddy's, you know, those infamous FO parties.
Right, Diddy's private bashes. Always sounded pretty over the top.
Over the top is putting it mildly based on the rumors, and it's not just about Busta being there. The talk is he was involved in some, well, let's just say wild freaky action.
With Diddy.
With Diddy, and reportedly multiple other men. That's the claim.
Wow. And there was that detail about who these other people allegedly were.
Yeah, that the individuals involved were supposedly adult workers flown in specifically by Diddy. Adds a whole other layer, doesn't it?
It certainly makes the claims feel more specific, more concrete, even if it is all still just rumor milling around online. Paints a very vivid picture.
Absolutely. And the chatter online, the buzz is that this specific tape is what has Busta completely losing it.
Panicking.
Total panic mode is what they're saying. Like maybe even thinking about confronting 50 Cent directly to try and shut it down.
Confronting 50. That sounds ill-advised, knowing 50.
Right. Can you imagine how that would go down?
But it does suggest Busta is genuinely rattled. If he's considering that, he must think this tape is incredibly damaging.
It points to something beyond just, you know, a bad look. It feels like he fears something career-altering, maybe worse.
Something he desperately wants to keep buried.
But wait, because it doesn't stop there. Busta's old bodyguard, big homie CC, he's come out swinging.
Oh, I saw some headlines about that. What's he claiming?
He's basically saying Busta's been on this, fun boy tip, as he calls it, for a long, long time.
Fun boy tip, meaning?
Implying interest in men. And CC says it wasn't even a secret in the club scene, like everyone knew.
An open secret. That's a bold claim from a former insider.
He also claims promoters used to, like, arrange for young guys to be put in Busta's VIP section.
Whoa, okay. That suggests a pattern, not just random encounters.
Yeah.
If promoters were involved.
Exactly. And get this specific story he told involves the actor and model Don Benjamin.
Don Benjamin, what happened?
So Don Benjamin was apparently in a club with a friend, a gay friend, and big homie CC claims Busta became laser focused on the friend.
Focus how?
Like really aggressively pursuing him, trying to get him into his VIP section, and supposedly wouldn't let the friend leave.
Wouldn't let him leave. That sounds really uncomfortable, potentially coercive even.
Super uncomfortable is how CC painted it. If that's true, it really adds weight to the broader claims about Busta's alleged behavior.
For sure. That specific anecdote makes it feel more real than just general accusations.
And CC didn't stop there. He said it was basically standard operating procedure for promoters. There was a code.
A code?
Yeah, a code to make sure Busta's VIP was always, like, stocked with attractive men whenever he was expected.
That implies a whole network, a system catering to these alleged preferences, not just chance.
Seems like it, based on his account. But then CC dropped something even heavier.
Heavier than that.
He suggested Busta might have a history of being physically abusive towards women.
Wow. Okay, that's a very serious allegation.
Yeah.
Did he connect it to the other stuff?
Yeah, he kind of linked it to Busta allegedly being down low, you know, hiding his sexuality and maybe harboring some kind of resentment because of it.
That's a complex and very damaging accusation.
Yeah.
Linking alleged hidden sexuality to alleged violence against women, that's huge.
It really is. It takes the whole thing to a much darker level.
Definitely needs to be treated with caution, but it's out there now.
And the stories just keep piling up. Do you remember Trip Ollie?
Vaguely. He had some kind of run-in with Busta.
Yeah, back in 2020, he posted a YouTube video, said he was in NYC, and Busta just walked up, grabbed his hand, and invited him to VIP.
Grabbed his hand out of nowhere.
That's what Trip Ollie claimed, said it made him feel really uncomfortable, freaked him out.
Okay, so maybe not as explosive as the bodyguard's claims, but it fits a pattern, right?
Yeah.
Alleged unwanted advances making people uncomfortable.
Exactly. And the story got weirder. Trip apparently argued with his own friend about it because the friend was like, no way are we going to Busta's party.
Smart friend, maybe.
Seems like it. Trip ended up getting ditched by the friend and stranded. Looking back, maybe the friend saw something Trip didn't.
Yeah, in context with everything else, that friend's hesitation seems significant.
Then there were those other little things floating around. Like in 2021, reports surfaced about Busta leaving a gay pride event with a trans woman.
I remember that hitting the blogs. Caused quite a stir.
For sure. On its own, maybe ambiguous, but added to the pile, it contributes to this overall picture the public is forming.
It aligns with the theme of his alleged interactions within the LGBTQ plus community, yeah.
And we can't forget Orlando Brown. He's always got something to say.
Oh boy. Orlando Brown. What's he claiming now? You always have to take it with a grain of salt, but...
Totally. But lately he's been making these comments, kind of vague but suggestive, linking himself and Busta to, quote, multiple men in the industry.
Given his history, it's hard to know. But with everything else swirling.
Some people are saying he sounds a bit more lucid recently, and they're wondering if maybe, just maybe, there are some real gems, as they put it, in what he's saying about Busta.
It adds fuel to the fire. Definitely, even if it's Orlando Brown saying it.
And look, let's be real, Busta doesn't exactly have a squeaky clean past when it comes to altercations.
Right, there have been incidents over the
You
years.
remember 2006? That weapons charge, allegedly carrying a machete.
A machete. Yeah, that rings a bell.
Then 2007, the misdemeanor assault charge for roughing up his driver. He pleaded guilty to harassment for that one, got probation.
Okay.
And 2009, he paid out $75,000 to a fan he allegedly assaulted. Story was he threw water bottles and his bodyguard punched the fan because the fan tried to leave the show early.
So there's a documented history of, let's say, volatility and physical incidents.
Definitely suggests a potential temper, maybe a pattern. It adds context to everything else being alleged now.
Right.
So think back to when the first wave of Diddy allegations hit before the raids and everything. Busta actually came out and said something like, hold judgment, let the truth come out.
Yeah, I remember that. Defending Diddy, essentially. Or urging caution.
It could be read either way, couldn't it? Maybe genuine belief in due process, or maybe trying to protect his longtime associate, or himself.
Given their history, defending Diddy wouldn't be surprising. But it looks different now.
Totally different now. Because fast forward, Diddy's places get raided, lawsuits are piling up, and Busta.
Silence.
Complete radio silence. Word is he's dodging questions, laying super low, acting like he barely knows Diddy, despite decades of history.
That sudden shift is really noticeable, isn't it? From wait and see to Diddy who. It screams damage control.
It really does. Suggests he knows something, or at least wants zero association with the mess now.
Which brings us back to 50 Cent.
Yep. Mr. I told you so. He's always said he stayed away from Diddy's parties, felt that sketchy energy everyone talks about now.
When he claims he's been taking mental notes for years, 50, he forgets nothing.
Absolutely nothing. He's like an elephant when it comes to industry drama. He's been waiting for this moment, you could argue.
And now this Netflix documentary.
He's promising to light the whole industry on fire. His words. No censors, no filters, no protection.
That sounds explosive.
Yeah.
Especially on Netflix, with that kind of reach.
And it's not just some slapped together thing. He's got Alex Stapleton directing. She's an Emmy-winning filmmaker.
Okay, so this is a serious production. Adds credibility.
For sure. And the expectation is high. Everyone thinks this doc will name names, point finger.
And Busta's name is expected to be prominent.
Reportedly right at the top of the list, which explains the alleged panic we talked about earlier.
So what's he supposedly doing now, behind the scenes?
Well, the whispers are he's moving like a man who knows what's coming. Making calls, reaching out to old connections.
Trying to do damage control? Smooth things over, as they say.
That's the rumor. Trying to get ahead of it, maybe soften the blow. You have to wonder what those calls sound like.
And didn't you say there were rumors he contacted 50 directly?
Get this, yeah. The street talk is he actually reached out to 50, basically warning him, keep my name out of your documentary.
Warning 50 Cent. Seriously.
I know. Talk about a bold or maybe foolish move.
Knowing 50, that would probably just make him double down, right? Like waving a red flag at a bull.
You'd think so. But here's where it gets even more potentially damaging.
Go on.
Some insiders are hinting 50 might have more than just like blurry party footage.
More like what?
They're talking surveillance-style videos from private rooms, back sections, VIP areas.
Whoa, okay. That's next level. Actual surveillance footage. That would be undeniable proof of, well, whatever it shows.
Exactly. Way harder to dismiss than just stories or rumors. That kind of evidence could be devastating.
And the claims about Busta's role at these parties are evolving too, right?
Yeah, it's gone beyond just him being a guest. Now the talk is he was allegedly way more involved.
Involved how?
Like hosting, calling shots, making sure things went down the way Diddy liked it. That's the alleged picture.
So not just present, but an active participant. Maybe even an organizer.
That's what's being suggested, which, if true, makes him much more central to whatever was happening.
It implies a much deeper level of complicity, potentially.
And the suggestion is this documentary might expose a whole system, power, silence, secrets.
A system within the industry.
Yeah. And Busta is allegedly right smack in the middle of Diddy's inner circle within that system.
So it's bigger than just parties. It's about how things allegedly operated behind the scenes.
That's the implication. And there are even rumors that certain celebrities were rewarded for their silence over the years.
Rewarded for keeping quiet about what?
That's the million-dollar question. But Busta's name keeps coming up in connection with the, quote, darkest rumors.
Darkest rumors.
That's it.
That sounds ominous. Suggests really serious potential wrongdoing.
It really does. And apparently there were levels to Diddy's parties, different tiers of access.
And Busta was where in this hierarchy?
Consistently in the real circle, according to these claims. The inner sanctum, basically.
Which implies a high level of trust from Diddy and potentially knowledge of everything.
Pretty much. And now, check this out. People are noticing things shifting in the industry.
Like what?
DJs, promoters, other artists. They're allegedly starting to distance themselves from Busta. Some are even supposedly deleting old pictures or mentions of him from their social media.
Wow. Scrubbing the evidence, almost. That's a pretty clear signal, isn't it?
It feels like people are getting nervous about being associated with him, anticipating fallout from this documentary.
Well, they believe the revelations will be damaging, clearly.
So Busta's silence now, it doesn't feel passive. It feels strategic.
Like he knows the storm is coming and he's battening down the hatches.
Exactly. Trying to figure out his next move, bracing for impact.
So it leaves us with these massive questions, right?
Totally. Like, what is Busta really so afraid of? Is he just collateral damage in the whole Diddy meltdown, or is his own story much deeper?
And will 50's documentary actually deliver on its promise? Will it blow the lid off the industry's underbelly, like he says?
Those are the key things everyone's waiting to find out. The potential fallout is huge, not just for Busta, but for how we see the whole entertainment world.
Absolutely. Power, silence, accountability, it touches on all of that.
So here's the final thought for you to chew on. Considering everything we've talked about, the allegations, the bodyguard's claims, the tape rumors, 50's doc, what could the long-term hit to Busta Rhymes' legacy be? Even if some of this isn't true, the sheer volume of smoke right now, how does he recover? What do you think?